Okay, so we focus on a few important OKRs. The next thing we want to do is collaboratively cascade OKRs throughout the entire organization. The reason we cascade OKRs is because we want vertical alignment. Vertical alignment means that the CEO is working on the same goals as everyone else in the C-suite, who are working on the same goals as all the vice presidents, who are working on the same goals as the department heads, who are working on the same goals as the team heads, who are working on the same goals as every individual. And that's a very like hierarchical, traditional organizational structure. But regardless, vertical alignment means that everyone from the very top of the organization to the very bottom of the organization understands what the most important priorities of the organization are, and everyone is working together in the same direction. It's like being on a boat and everyone's rowing the boat in the same direction. You don't have half the people rowing the boat forward and half the people rowing the boat backwards. Everyone's rowing at the same time towards the same thing. That's what we mean by vertical alignment. And by cascading OKRs from the top of the organization to the bottom of the organization, you build that vertical alignment into the system. Vertical alignment is really important because it gets everyone working on the same thing. But the other reason it's really important is that it drives engagement and motivation. So when employees can see directly how their work connects to and contributes to and is a part of the overall goals of the organization, that's incredibly motivating. When we talked about task significance and task identity in regard to job structure, this contributes to both of those, right? It allows people, it gives people task identity by allowing them to see how their contributions contribute to the overall goals of the organization. And it gives them task significance because they understand how what they do contributes to this greater whole, something meaningful and important. Okay, so what does this look like practically? Practically, it means that organizations have a strategy, and from that strategy, they come up with 3 to 5 objectives, each of which have 3 to 5 OKRs. And these objectives are trying to accomplish the strategy. So this might be the executive management has 3 objectives, which they break down into 3 key results each. Those key results then become the objectives for the next level of the organization. And the next level of the organization takes those key results and comes up and takes them as their objective, and then comes up with 3 to 5 key results for them. And then on down the organization until you have individuals, frontline workers, that are creating OKRs that are in alignment with these OKRs that are cascaded all the way down from the top of the organization. And by doing this, we create that vertical alignment where the C-suite is setting goals and everyone in the organization is setting goals that contribute to or align to those overall organizational priorities. Now, even though we're cascading it from the top down, it cannot be in lockstep. It cannot be this thoughtless exercise where I am given a goal by my supervisor and I give goals to my subordinates and they give goals to their subordinates, and there's just kind of this thoughtless rewriting of objectives and key results all the way down through the organization, and it becomes paperwork. It doesn't become useful. The people that are doing the work know what is most important. They know the work that needs to be done to contribute to these overall organizational level objectives. And thus, departments, teams, individuals should be allowed to set about half of their own OKRs. So it is this top-down process where the C-suite sets 3 to 5 objectives that they think the entire organization should focus on. But it's also this bottom-up process where frontline employees get to say, okay, and this is how we think this is the best way to do it, or this is what I have to contribute to this goal. And so instead of being this thoughtless exercise of I do A, you do B, he does see, and it's just this like thoughtless chain that comes from the top down. And by the way, we've all experienced this, right, where we pay lip service to whatever it is the higher ups are wanting to demand of us, right? But we don't really do anything about it. We just pay lip service to it. By letting workers set their own objectives, set their own goals, they can decide what's most important and how they can contribute. And there's this really powerful quote from a supervisor at Intel who wrote an email, and he was like, "Hey, like, if you can't think of 3 to 5 things to come in and get excited about every day at work, if there are not 3 to 5 things that you really want to focus on and accomplish every day, then we should have a talk. Maybe this isn't the best place for you." That if people cannot get excited even when you let them set their own goals, then maybe they're not in the right profession. And so this is a way of, yes, getting vertical alignment, having this top-down guidance, but also giving people the freedom and, again, going back to job characteristics theory, the autonomy to set their own tasks to figure out how they can best accomplish these objectives. So it is top down, it is not lockstep, it is top down with influence from the bottom up, and it's kind of this nice combination of guidance from above and guidance from below. The other really good thing about setting collaborative OKRs is that it's not just this top-down thing, it also encourages vertical linkages. So, which we can see here, very well done in green. By allowing people to set their own OKRs, they think, oh man, you know who I'm going to need to help me with this? I'm going to need someone from the marketing department. I'm going to need someone from accounting. I'm going to need someone from IT. And they can kind of build their own team and set their own goals, which make it clear not just how alignment and goal accomplishment comes from the bottom up, or the top down, but also across the organization horizontally. So it facilitates vertical linkages and it facilitates horizontal linkages. We'll talk more about how transparency facilitates that as well. The other benefit of collaboratively setting OKRs is that it facilitates efficiency and innovation. There's this old saying that you can tell a person to sweep, but don't tell them what broom to use. And that's really the idea that workers know how to do their job best. They're the ones that have the expertise. They're the ones that are creative and curious. And if you give them the freedom, the opportunity to set their own goals, then they know how to do it the best way. And they also know how to innovate in the best way. And so you're giving them the freedom to do that.